How are you assessing that tonight?
I thought they got probably about a pass score. I thought Ruti and Sean played beautifully. Thought they put us under pressure, but I didn't think the overall score was one that we couldn't chase down. It felt about par for the surface. I think we just left a little bit too much at the back end. We left ourselves, 30 or 32 for the last 2 overs, which is probably a little bit too much to do. It was a tight game. I think there was calls all the way through the game. There's 7 runs you can pull out in sort of 2 incidents that, for me, swing the game completely. So, look, it's a tough one to take, but we probably just left ourselves too much.
What are the 2 incidents you're referring to?
Look, it's if, ands or buts. It's a tough one to take because there's 5 wides down the leg side, they clip them on the thigh pad, suddenly it's only 1 run in the game. And there's sort of 2 or 3 things where you can look at and you can highlight those things as individual moments, but I'd urge the lads to look at themselves and say, how do we mitigate and how do we manage the innings as a whole? And I feel like we just left too much to the back end.
The no ball situation was really confusing for everybody inside the ground, I reckon. Was it as confusing out there?
I didn't feel like it was overly confusing, to be entirely honest, but look, at the end of the day, I'm not entirely sure who was sat as third umpire, but whoever sat as third umpire for me has cameras and they've got the time in order to make the correct decision. I didn't feel like the correct decision was made, but that's maybe I don't know the rule. I'm quite happy saying I don't know the rule. It's fair, or the law, whatever word you want to use. I just think for me, as a batter, if you slap that ball to point with you stand on your stumps or you hit it to cover, the ball's not dead at that moment. You're still trying to run, so you can get run out, whether you know where the ball is or not. For me, it's run out. But it's not. The umpire's decision was it's not out, and we needed to, at that point, move forward. There's no point in whinging about it. You can if, ands or buts. It's irrelevant. So, like I say, we just probably didn't quite manage our batting as well as we could have.
At the power play in your batting, you obviously set off like a train, didn't you? You were batting beautifully. At the power play after 6 overs, were you quite happy with where you were?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're 15 or 16 runs ahead in power play, still 2 down. So we were ahead, we won the power play. That's what we try and do every game. And there was probably that sort of next 6 or 7 over period we didn't quite push forward as they did. They put us under a huge amount of pressure. Sean and Ruti played beautifully. They hit bad balls, they hit really strong shots, and they put us under pressure. So I think that's probably that period of play where we could have pushed the game forward and try to win it in 14 overs and sort of break the back of it rather than leaving it to the last couple.
And did you find it a bit of a grind when the spin was on at both ends? It felt like you were just getting a little bit behind in the game.
Yes and no. I think my shot was sort of a catalyst for a bit of a halt. I think you hit my ball for 6 or you hit it on the ground, and that momentum of the partnership continues to build. I think I got out at a crucial time. That last ball of the 8th over, I think it was a crucial time for us to make sure we sort of push the game forward. So, look, I've got to cop that and know that as a senior player I need to make sure I drive those moments forward and take the game in my own hands.
Overall, as we break for Championship cricket, you're either top or second. You're in the top 2. You've won a stack of games. You must be pretty pleased with how it's going so far.
Absolutely, it's a lovely first little block. Good to win some games. You say break. I think we've got tomorrow off. It's nearly tomorrow already, so I think we've got about 24 hours off when we travel down to Canterbury. So, look, it's been a really good block. I think we played 8 games, won 5, so it's been really good. The guys have done really well.
Do you feel like you're going back into Championship cricket kind of rejuvenated a little bit?
I think so. We've the guys generally are really happy. The guys have got a good buzz about them, so it's a slightly different feel. Obviously Bales and Will come in, and a couple of the other boys are going to get a nice little rest, a well-deserved rest. Look, I think as a whole the squad's in a really good place. The guys have talked really honestly. Like I've said all the way through, the guys have been fairly critical and open and honest with each other, positively and negatively, about improvement areas, about things we've done well. So look, hopefully come Sunday we can hit the ground running and have a really good game.
I appreciate we're only half an hour from the close of play here, but there's actually 2 quite important Championship matches for you, aren't you?
100%.
You try and switch back onto.
100%. You got Cairn to a bottom slightly just below us, and then Notts at Southport. So you've got 2 very big games. If you get these 2 games right, you can sort of push up the log, obviously. I mean, sort of state the obvious there. But obviously they're 2 games that we feel like you can really target and have really good games of cricket. 4-day cricket's a completely different feel. You come here and you face 20 balls and suddenly you have an impact on the game. There are 20 balls you haven't even got through the opening spell. So look, the flow and the ebbs of the 4-day cricket, we need to get into that rhythm pretty quickly. But hopefully the lads have taken some good confidence from the last couple of weeks.